I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to do a video about it. There was really no need until I saw some people that I'm cool with lining up with an opinion that is easily proven incorrect. What am I talking about? All right. Now, people are all in an uproar about this whole Princess X visiting Kenny's grave deal. Mind you, Super Jim already did pretty much the exact same thing. And there was about as much of an uproar about that too. So all's fair, more or less. More or less. The only problem I have with this is that there's some misinformation out there. So I'm going to clarify, and you take it for what you want. See, Princess X is in the sector. She's in the shit. She knows what this is. So, in being in the shit, you got to expect to get some shit. And she expects to get shit. She's fully capable of defending herself. So, there's really no need for me to do that. But what I am going to clarify here is one piece of information some people are getting wrong. What did she actually do when she went to the grave? All right, she went to Kenny's grave. She left a flag and she left some items in a plastic bag on top of the grave for Tyra to go get. That's where it ends. What did Jim do when he went to the grave? Jim went to the grave. He actually cleaned up the grave. He fixed all the little fencing and stuff that had fallen over, and he left behind some stickers. And what else did he leave? I don't know. He left behind some stickers, and I think that's about it. Something like that. So they roughly did the same thing. Now, here's the part where people are getting upset. Supposedly, there was a sign or a poster of Kenny with his face on it that Tyra or Donna or the family, whoever, had left behind to commemorate Kenny's birthday. Tyra says that Princess X took this poster or banner or whatever you want to call it. When Princess X goes up there in her video, you don't see her removing a banner. You don't even see her putting up her flag. You see the final result, the flag hanging there. You don't see a poster or banner or anything with Kenny's face on it anywhere around. You don't see her leave with one. You don't see one on the ground. You don't see her put one in the car. You don't see any of that. When Tyra goes up there, his video, you don't see this banner either, but he says he left one. So let's take him at his word that he left this big banner with Kenny's face on it for his birthday at the grave. He says Princess X took it, stole it. Why she would want such a thing, I don't know. And to be honest with you guys, she's a lot better than I am, because if I were up there and I saw a poster with Kenny's face on it, it's 50-50. It's 50-50. I may go in with the mindset that I'm probably going to pee on it or maybe kick a hole in it. And the other 50%, maybe I'll change my mind when I get there. Who knows? It depends on who's standing on my shoulder at the time, the devil or the angel. Could be either or. But anyway, as Tyra loves, anyway, this poster that Princess X allegedly stole, if he would simply make a phone call to the cemetery like I did, he would easily find out that the cemetery removed it. And why did they remove it? This is why they removed it. Flowers and decorations are removed on a quarterly basis for general cleanup or when the cemetery management determines that the appearance is detrimental to the entire cemetery. Now, they provide this railing or this wiring that goes, like, it kind of creates a framework around the grave where you can hang flowers from it or attach flowers to it. Anything else, candles, buckets, pictures, picture frames with pictures in it, poster boards, anything large like that, anything other than flowers that can either lay on the ground, which they'll come and they'll clean up periodically because it gets to be too much, or ones that you can hang on that railing that they provide. They provide this metal framework that you can hang the flowers from. If you attach the flowers to the framework, they'll leave it there until it falls off. But the minute it hits the ground, they remove it. Now, the thing with the poster is, in their own words, that's what the headstone is for. They do not allow posters, pictures, picture frames, candles, anything else that cannot be attached to that wire frame, like flowers and stuff. Anything else that's gonna like sit around or clutter up the view, they remove it. Why? Because if they allow one grave to do it, and the grave next to them does it, and the grave next to them does it, well, the whole place becomes cluttered up and it becomes an eyesore. It'll end up looking like a tent city with all of these makeshift posters and flyers and t-shirts and all this stuff just laying there. They don't allow any of that stuff. It'll look like a tent city and eventually like a garbage dump because the cleaning staff has to come around and clean up all this stuff if the wind happens to blow it, if it gets wet, or and like whatever happens to it. They can't just have stuff strewn out all around the ground. The way to mark your grave is with the headstone and nothing else. That is the cemetery's rules. So when the family went up, and when was his birthday? His birthday was it July? It was July 2nd or 3rd or something like that. When they supposedly left that in July, the cemetery came around and cleaned it up. Actually, just the beginning of September, just according to what they told me about 2 weeks ago. They made their rounds. They cleaned up everything that's on the ground or on the graves and whatever. They cleaned up all that stuff. They put it in a truck, and they have a garbage room. They throw it all in the trash room. And I don't know how often they remove the trash. I didn't ask. But if he wants his picture back, all Tyra has to do is call up, ask if it's still there, go to the trash room, and get it before it gets destroyed or thrown out. So Princess X did not take anything from the grave. It's against the cemetery's policy for anything to be there other than the headstone itself or flowers that can be hung from the metal framework. And then it's only until the flowers die and fall off onto the ground, at which point they clean it up and they remove it. If it stays attached, they'll leave it there. No t-shirts, no posters, no poster boards, no standees, no candles, no nothing other than the headboard. So good luck filing a police report saying that it was stolen, because once the investigation, if there's an investigation, begins, the first thing they'll do is they'll go to the cemetery and probably ask to see the cameras and tell them what they're looking for, and the staff is going to tell them anything like that gets cleaned up and thrown away. We did it. Now, with regards to actually leaving something behind on Kenny's site, the little rainbow flag and whatever, who cares? Who cares? If you care, fine, say something. That's on you. Get at her for something that she did, not for something that she didn't do. I personally don't care. Again, 50-50, I probably would have done worse. So if Tyra wants to file a harassment suit and try to get a restraining order for her doing whatever, I hope he mentions the fact that he called her property manager in an attempt to get her thrown out. I hope he mentions that he's been harassing her. He's been calling her, that he's been threatening to come to her house or send his family members to her house. I hope he remembers that he did several shows actually doxing her name, doxing her address, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Several hours that he has on private currently. I hope he remembers the multiple hours that he put in to harassing her as he goes to the courthouse to tell them that she's harassing him. It's going back and forth. And if we trace it all the way back to the beginning, it's because she was associated with Tommy. She was a mod of Tommy, therefore she gets harassed. And I get it. I get it. I went after Tyra's mods, the closer ones, his close circle. I went after him probably just as hard. But as soon as they were gone, guess what? Never bothered him again. Left him alone. Again, when you're in the shit, expect to get shit. It's all around us. We're all throwing it. We're all rolling in it. And if you got a problem with it, go cry about it. Other than that, stick to what's done and not what's assumed, what you can prove. Okay? She didn't steal anything. And if you think you did and you want to go after her for it, fine, that's on you. Because your agenda is not what actually happened. It's something else entirely. And that's personal. And if it's personal, I don't care.